Hey, everybody. This used to just rotate and used to play and play and play. Hey, y'all, my theme song. How y'all doing? Oh, yeah. Let me fight with the camera. I don't know what I'm doing. When we used to go out and film for neighbors, I guess I was just going with raw instinct. I gotta get this footage. But now here on the Ubers Tubers, I can't get it right. Oh, I tell you. That's it. That's as good as it gets. See, it used to continue, remember? Y'all don't pay any attention to my hands. I'm touching on electrical stuff. I want to grease my hands so badly. But when I get to, to doing it, I gotta do something with a camera. Like now. But though I'm using the handle, but this makes my butt look crooked. Come on. I was looking at the T.S. Madison, Maddie in the morning, but as me and my daughter say, in the afternoon. So, yeah. I got notes and everything, y'all. This is the only place that I can share and talk to y'all about my Martin. My T.S. Martin. Ooh, if Martin was alive, he would have loved that name. But, hello. But me and Martin, we met back in the 80s. And then the crack epidemic, and then Martin's dead. And then life changed for everybody, right? But here, I never thought I would have a venue to talk about my T.S. Martin. And I didn't know that it bothered me so much. Like, I'm getting old. This is one of them secrets I'm taking to the grave. Because the people who knew of me and Martin's relationship, they're old, if not dead. He's dead. It just leaves me. And I know people look at me side-eyed, like, oh, what's her fascination with the LGBTQ? I remember when I did my AIDS awareness play, and I would go to the LGBTQ community to ask them for funding. I hold the whole program out, how we had the AIDS council come in, how we went to churches and community and the whole 9 yards. And they asked me if I was gay. They say you're not supposed to ask that question. But as an African American woman, honey, I can tell you, them laws do not apply when it comes to a one-on-one with me. Because who's going to believe what I say? You know what I'm saying? So I would say no. But that old saying, my best friends are gay. And they said, well, go ask your best friends. You can give me a dime for AIDS educational awareness. No, sirree, mom, honey. I wasn't gay. So why was I coming to them for funding to help me put up my AIDS education play. Counselors and everything in tow. Music and everything. And it wasn't that much. So the only person who knows about um, me and T.S. Martin's relationship is me. My daughter was young. She was 4 or 5. She remembered him. She just remembered Martin doing her hair one time and being a little rough. She didn't like it. But she don't remember all the times he did her hair and she wasn't upset. That's neither here nor there. And then I'm going to talk about Maddie in the morning this week. And I will. And she was so young and she doesn't know, anything about it. And I lost my train of thought. And Martin was really close to her. Martin used to babysit her for me. But all she remembers is that one time I remember exactly. I was in the kitchen. He had to lay her, that was an old timey thing. And so I used to lay her, move the dish drainer, and I used to lay her on her stomach on that area and have her head come down over the kitchen sink. In that way, I can control water and stuff like that. So that's exactly what Martin did. But in his rubbing, I used to love when he would rub my hair. Oh my God. Oh, T.S. Martin has some wonderful hands. Anyway, she didn't like it. And that's what she remembered. But Martin was in her life. She liked the nail polished. So I thought I would never be able to talk to anyone, to share with anybody, my relationship or my experience. I hope I put tissue over. I don't know. You know how you get paranoid? Hold on a minute, y'all. I try to have everything when I come to talk to y'all. And I try to have everything done. But sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Anyway, I thought I would never be able to share the story with Martin or explain to people how much I love the LGBT community. Now, I gotta say this before I go on. The relationship I've had with my trans friend and the relationships that I've had with my gay friends are totally different. To me, trans women love women. Martin loved me. He wasn't trying to be a woman. He was a woman. His body was a man, but he was a woman, and that's what I connected with. T.S. Madison is a woman. And they love women. I've never once felt Martin or any of my TS friends were in competition with me. Never, never, never. Every time I was around them, all they wanted to do was make me beautiful. They wanted to make me feel good about myself. Oh, I'm going to get ready to cry. It makes me think of Martin because that's what he used to do. He'd come over and sometimes I would be a little down and stuff. He knew what to do. He'd pull out the makeup. Or sometimes, oh my gosh, sometimes talking about him, sometimes he would say, hey, I got this new lotion, girl. I don't know if it was sensual or not. And he's like, look at your hands. And of course, that was back in the day, when I was raising my daughter and laundry money was tight. They wasn't paying you enough to do anything. Um, those corporations and those people that hire, as far as employees concerned, they took everything, everything, everything. Um, and what they didn't take, Betsy and her family took, and what Betsy didn't and her family didn't take, the IRS took, and they didn't care that I had a dependent child, a roof over my head, or nothing. They didn't give a damn. Okay, it was all about getting rich. So I used to wash. I got a little scrub board, and that's how I used to wash me and my daughter's clothes. So my hands were rough, rough child. Rough, rough child. And Martin would come over, and he would always he would always come spinning into my life. Oh, he had a nice body. Either he had a nice outfit on, or he wanted to show me something. Maybe a new walk he had done. When I look at I don't look at Paws. I looked at House. I can't remember what cable show that was on. Um, I loved it, and how they used to do the walk and the shows and stuff like that. I love that one. She wasn't a woman. She was a gay guy. Used to do the calling out. Yeah, it was. I'm probably not saying in gay lingo, but it was really, really good. And I followed all the trans women. Just so gorgeous, so gorgeous. And again, they love women. But men have poison women's head. But anyway, Martin would come in, and he would do a little turn and thing, but he knew how to drop down to his knees and come back out and kick. I used to say, boy, what's wrong with you? And he would laugh and say, girl, what you doing? I got this lotion. uh, and then he would just sit down and then pull out the lotion, and he'd put it on my hands, and he would massage and lotion my hands. And then I was massage and lotion his hands. His hands were soft. That's why I said about me washing the clothes. My hands were so rough. But massaging, putting lotion on his hand was wonderful. So I tell you this before I start to let you know my relationship with the LGBTQ community, etc., etc. I think it's fine to be non-binary. I really do. If I had a chance to do it again with this same thing, my daughter would be non-binary. She would just be a person. She would just be a person. Oh, greetings from Brazil. Hey, thank you. Hello. Thank you, Brazil. She would just be a person. She wouldn't, a little girl, I wouldn't put her in pink. I wouldn't put her, she would just be. I would probably make her an electrician, because I wish I had an electrician in the family. I wouldn't say, well, she's a girl, she does this, and he's a boy and he does that. I would never raise my children to be like that. I would raise them to be, let them be whatever they want. She decided when she got older, if she said, Mommy, I want to wear frilly skirts and stuff like that, I said, girl, do you? And if when she got older, she said, well, Mommy, I really prefer these pants with the police line. I say, you do you. She would decide. I wouldn't decide for her. Okay? So that's how I'm totally for the LGBTQ community. But my love is trans. Gender women. Oh my God. Whew. I love them folks. And it's because of Martin. So that's why I start out telling you the story about me and Martin. It's a love story without love because he loved me because I was a woman. Not because he wanted to sleep with me, not because he wanted to be with me, not because he wanted to get money from me. He loved women. And that's what used to hurt me so bad when my girlfriends would badmouth him. I was like, and they would say, oh, he just trying to get you in. And I was like, so are you. So are you. I blinked twice. You have my husband too. So what you trying to say? And I could do that and I could back them down. And that was until the AIDS came. And then what they fought me with Martin was, well, he'd be down there in New York, he probably got AIDS. And we didn't know anything about AIDS or HIV. So I couldn't anyway. Let me talk about Maddie in the morning because I love T.S. Madison. When she went, let me tell you, okay, before she went off there, during the epidemic, the year of the reign, the terror reign of 45, T.S. Madison, Maddie in the morning, held me down. I don't know about y'all, but she held me down. I wouldn't miss an episode, Maddie in the morning. When she had the singers come through, I would laugh so much. And it was so funny. Some of the singers would start off sounding so good. I mean, the first time they come on the show, blow us away. Of course, Greg, you can't give him anything because he didn't like nobody. But they would come in, and the first time they would sing, it would blow me away. Okay? But then when they would come back for the repeat, they would never sound the same. I don't know. It was like they were able to do that one time. But in between, she had musicians come on. I remember hearing organs and these people singing. And it was such a good time. Maddie in the morning held me down during the epidemic. Oh, yeah, the COVID epidemic. Yes, yes, yes. And, Flame Monroe. I've been thinking about Flame Monroe today. Okay. But I'd have to get into, for me, the difference between drag queens and TS's. TS women, TS men. Drag queens are gays. And to me, gays don't like women. They like their mama. They may like their aunt. But they don't like women. Yes, I'm going to put it out there because there ain't nobody here. Ain't nobody listening. When I look at my things, nobody be watching. See, to me, that gay boy will steal your husband and his drawers. Okay? I'm just putting it out there. A TS woman? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. She don't roll like that. It's that sisterhood. Now, whether she'll do it to another TS, I don't know. But the TSs I've had, and I've always had men in a relationship, the men that I've had that have met my TS women friends, they always got some kind of issue. with them. I guess it had something to do with their own masculinity, but they always had issues. Always had to tell a joke, say some kind of smart ass remark, but that wasn't my friend like Martin, T.S. Martin. Never talked bad against my husband, even though I tore him up. He would say stuff like, he was just being nice to me. Well, I'm here for you. I was like, "Martin, you gay boy." That was early in our relationship. That's the way we got on with each other. But those are the terms we used back in the 80s. I didn't know. I learned a lot more from T.S. Madison. A lot of things that me and Martin did, and a lot of things that he said. When I started listening to Maddie, T.S. Madison, and Maddie in the Morning, and Spilling the Tea, and her chronicles, and watching her in the World of Wonders, RuPaul's production company. Then, you know, I started using different terms. I slip every now and again here. But that's why I love Maddie Morton. During the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, she held it down. For me and mine. We couldn't wait. My daughter started saying things to me like, you don't really know Maddie, right? And I was like, yeah, I know I don't know her. It's the relationship through Martin to me and Maddie. That's how it goes. I see Martin in Maddie. Not excuse me. I see T.S. Martin in Maddie. We didn't use TS in the early 80s. Okay? So when I see T.S. Madison, I fell in love with her, but I realized it was her, but it was also the love I have for T.S. Martin. Now, I'm gonna tell you the difference. I've had gay friends, and I have been an auntie to a little gay boy. His name was Shane Frederick Stevenson, but they call him Shane. Shane's pronoun was he. Again, except when we were together sometime and nobody was there, and then Shane was she. And she'd be she. And she said she was comfortable, just like Martin, to be around me where they could use that pronoun. Now, Shane, again, was back in the mid-80s. It was dangerous to be a she out in the streets. So when we're down in my little 2-room hovel, laughing and talking, being comfortable, I could say she to Shane. I could say girl to Shane. But then sometimes, let me get some water, y'all. And then sometimes, if people was there, like my daughter called him Uncle Shane. And of course, the cruelty of my friends never ceased, especially my bestest friend, female friend. When I say female friend, I say, let me be more, because I don't want to insult Martin or anyone else. we were birth mothers. So my birth mother friend. Other than that, all women. The only distinction I'm making is she had kids and I had a kid. And every time my daughter would say to her, well, my Uncle Shane, this and that, they would always, even my sisters and them would say, you mean Auntie Shane? And she would say no. Because for some reason, Shane didn't want her calling him aunt. Didn't want it. Didn't want anyone to hear her. So he was uncle. That was their relationship. That's what they worked out. It had nothing to do with that. But I find men to be more jealous of women, of wanting to be women. Where TS women, they're women. They ain't proving nothing to you. Yeah, they're make it look more like a woman on the outside, but they already know they're woman. They're not asking you. They are. Ain't nothing to be jealous of. I'm a woman. I ain't jealous of women. I'm one and they're one. But I found out with gays, whew. Okay. All right. Haters, y'all. Haters. I find them to be the haters. Let me do this cough drop. I think it's dry in here. I probably need to get some steam. Anyway, that's my difference. So, y'all, I've been talking for 27 minutes. My throat got a right to be dry. So, now, one thing Maddie said. Maddie was talking. She started talking about Big Dick Nick Cannon. Hashtag Big Dick Cannon. Lord have mercy. Whew. Whoa. Now, back in the 90s, I did listen to Howard Stern. I can say it now. That's another thing, like the gay thing. You couldn't say you listen to him. And he had a guy that used to come there. I think it was Mr. Flicks. He would look at movies and be able to see like a woman crossing and uncrossing her leg. Hi, thanks for joining. A woman crossing and uncrossing her leg. He would be able to see whether she had underwear on or not. I've never seen the Flicks or whatever, but he would be on the Howard Stern show. So when Maddie showed that picture of Nick Cannon's third leg, I had to freeze the frame. I had to freeze frame. I had to freeze frame, y'all. Whew. That's something. I could understand why he wants to populate more. I really can't blame him. Not at all. I mean, I'm not a man. I don't know, but I tell you. So that was funny. I laughed about that for quite some time. She had on there, I'm supposed to have another piece of paper. Hold on a second. Because I took down some more notes. I'll be right back, y'all. Maybe I did. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. If I did, I don't have no more. It must have fell somewhere. Because, okay. Then Chi-Chi came on. I hadn't seen Chi-Chi in a while. I remember when Chi-Chi did his own thing with his friend. When TS and the Maddie mob were in, was it Mexico? And Chi-Chi stayed home and he did a video on YouTube with him and his friend. And it was so good. So good, honey. Hold on, y'all. So good. It was really, really, really good. And so Chi-Chi was on there. So that was good seeing him. Fimming up Chi-Chi. I'm interested to see where he'll land. But at least he's exploring. And that's important. See, when we were small, my lips are dry, y'all. When we were young, back in the day, especially in the African American community, exploring and stuff like that was something pretty much not encouraged. You know, you get married, you have kids. Sometimes you get married to a down low gay guy that can't stand you and beats the crap out of you and eventually kills you. So he can go to jail and be gay when he could have been gay and free. He didn't have to marry you. He needed to tap into what his side was, what his like is. And you would have a life and probably been able to meet a man who is not hiding in the closet. So that was good seeing Chi-Chi. I love me some Chi-Chi. Yeah. I remember when Maddie brought Mo in. I know that's one thing I love about T.S. Madison. I knew after that horrible debacle with that woman, Monique, she was so hurt. I knew she was never, ever let that happen to her again. Never. And finally brought it through, got that money, and she hired Mo. And I love Mo. I love him. So Mo was on there. And there's a little debacle. She just had to run to the bathroom. For a little while, Mo had left the mic on. That was some funny stuff. Now, TS talk about when they do that smashing where, like, when they brought in two horribles, when they brought in horrible Chaka Khan and horrible Stephanie Mills to see who was the worst. I guess there's some name for it, but TS was talking about it and who should, be, should go up, like, who should sing against one another, like that. But I'm really not interested in that stuff. But who I was happy to see is when Chi-Chi came on, and that's what I gotta get. I have to find a way. T.S. Madison has the Latanya song, Lee Tanya. She's a nasty, a dirty. We sang that song to our dogs. Our dog's name is Ebony. But sometimes I know where me and my daughter break out and say, Lee Ebony, she's a dirty, nasty Lee Ebony. Her mama name is Lee. but it's Latanya. And I used to love when T.S. Madison would come on at night and talk sex. I loved that night show. I mean, I would catch it the next day in the daytime, but I loved it. I love seeing Chi-Chi as Latanya, but I love the way T.S. Madison would talk through the music. I know it's called something because I used to see it in House. There was this in House. There was this big girl. I mean, she's really big, way bigger than T.S. Madison. And she goes to the club where the houses do the walk and stuff like that. And she does that, she talks over the music. I mean, I love it. So when I saw Maddie doing that when I heard Maddie doing that with Latanya's music, I was like, oh, but I think it's supposed to drop soon. Latanya, I don't know the name of it, but that's what they spoke about this week. And yeah. But I have my Mac Pro computer. I don't know if it would download it. The last time I downloaded music, I had a lot of music on this little iPod thing that broke. And when I tried to use another iPod, it didn't carry over my music. If I wanted to have to buy it all over again. And that's the last time I downloaded anything. I was like, damn, at least with an album, I would have an album. I may skip and stuff, or a tape. I may have to tape it together and use the pencil, but I would still have it, or the CD. It may be scraping, but I would still have it. But Latanya's song drops this week, and TS gave us a glimpse of that. Which, yeah, and she made a good point. Hey, Clyde Diva. Peace. Clyde Diva 6, Clyde Diva Consciousness, Clyde Diva 3. I love it. I'm doing fine, Clyde. I was in there with you this morning. You were awesome as usual. Yeah, I sit in. I just love her whole personality. I love how she feminine, and she's in her femininity and her sexuality, but she will put you in your place. And that's the contrast. Okay, thanks so much. Thanks, Clyde. I'll catch you when you do your live. Yeah, and I just love it. It's just, I had a girlfriend like that. She talks so soft and nice and sweet. And you said she wouldn't hurt a fly. Yes, she would. She'd turn on you in a minute. Oh, Clyde Diva 6. Thanks for stopping in, Clyde. Yes. Much love. So I love that, just how smooth. I like butter. She's like butter. That's what I think about her when she's moving. And then she have to come after you. She got to shut you down, take care of you. She do that too. So yeah, this week, So the song drops. Litanya. Da 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 da. I love it. So, and then what else did I get? Yeah, I talked about that. Gays have a love-hate relationship with women. Yeah. To me, it that's what those are what she was talking about. But what she was saying, and I did lose my piece of paper. I'll find it. Okay. She was saying that she's on WeTV, Madison Experience, the T.S. Madison Experience, and it's a good show. But she hasn't been given the cue yet whether they're going to renew it again, and they should. And T.S. was talking about, I didn't know the Grizzlies was back on, but they're back on. And she got a lot more story to give. I know, I was there. There's a lot more story, a lot more to T.S. Madison, a lot more. Okay? And if folks have the experience, she should be on there about 10 years. But we don't got it like that. That's why when people say to me, oh, and this one famous movie star and that one famous movie star, my thing is, do you got satellites in the sky? Put a satellite in the sky. Get some social media going for us. Tap into the African nations. Do a hookup. Because I've turned off my TV already. Okay. It's garbage now. So the neighbor is putting out the garbage. So now the dog is barking. So they hear it all the time. They hear it every Thursday. Because it happens every Thursday. So, oh no, my nose is scratching me. It's so dry in here. So that's why you're hearing the barking in the background. And as soon as the garbage is put in place. So she's right. She should be on there a long time. But T.S. don't. We came from the time when the only way we was on television if we were a prostitute, addicted whore, a criminal, maid, nanny, or we wasn't even on there. We came from the times that, after a while we complained, they put us on there, but we came to the time that if you looked at a show and there was a black person, the first few times when they was the first to go, you'd be like, wow, she the first to go? He the first to go? But then it would become so regular that you would stop looking at it. Or when they started putting us in stuff, if it was like a murder show, stuff like that, you knew who was going to be the first to die. You knew it. You knew it was going to be the black guy, black woman, black cat, black rat. It's going to be the first to go. So, the fact that she's on We, they should keep her there because she ain't going. Madison is going to bring it. She's going to bring it to the network. She's going to bring it to us, and she's going to put the trueness into trans women and women relationship. We love T.S. Madison. I love her. My daughter loves her. And as my daughter often says to me, when I say, oh, uh, T.S. said this, and T.S. did this, and my daughter says to me, Mommy, you don't really know her like that. And I'm like, yes, I do. I do the connection with Martin. So, okay, what else? So I think she should be. I think she should be there. I think they should give her another season. I think we should. Not we as in we, but WE as in women's entertainment. I believe that's what it's called. She's a woman. She's representing trans women. And the irony of it is, say if, I don't want to put it out there, but say in the interim, they put in a white trans woman. And like Madison came on, everybody's into we, everybody's cool with we. And then this white trans woman comes through. They're going to give her 3 or 4 episodes right off the bat, and she ain't got to do nothing. She ain't got to prove nothing. But then they'll feel comfortable knowing that they are representing the trans community. Hell, by the time them Braxtons got off they all look like drag queens. I wouldn't say transgender women. Like drag queens, like they've been dragged. So I don't understand why T.S. Madison can't be on we for another season. Quite a few more seasons. It's a lot to tell. It's a lot for us to learn and to understand. Now, I'm glad that Maddie in the Morning is back. She hasn't had that much guests because of the coronavirus. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. I understand it. I understand it. I know I just got the memories of when it was, and I wish she'd have enough time and they would come back in and she can throw up some screen, because I used to love to see Spill It Boy there, who I found out was treasure, as in a living treasure, not buried. The Spill It Boy. Love when he got into drag. Oh my goodness. Just a beautiful little gay boy in drag. Flame Monroe. Sorry, I shouldn't call you a boy. Spill it, man, in drag. Flame. Beautiful drag queen. And I know why you call them drag queens, because queens is it. Like I said, the only thing is, I don't love women too much. And I'm not going to get it too much. Sometimes y'all be looking at TS on the side eye. I went through the Queen's Court. I went through the Queen's Supreme Court. So I know sometimes y'all be giving the side eye. Hey. Oh, what you crying for? I see the tears in 100. What is that, Clyde Diva? It just dawned on me that you said you was at work, or you giving me like a thing. I remember. Oof, I'm retired now, but I remember, honey. Yes, I beat that pavement. Oh, somebody want me to make calls with them. I guess what you have. That's why you have moderators. I don't think nobody even come over here other than Clyde and Deirdre Helena Wells. Okay, so that is so Maddie talked about that. Talked about Nick Cannon. quite a few more things that I wrote down on something else. And I can't find the paper there, but I'll be much better because she did 2 shows. Oh, here's the thing. Talking about that We program. I've noticed, especially on Big O, I haven't seen it yet on TikTok, but on Big O, the biggest winners or the biggest draws are the ones who go off like crazy. Oh, you like my show when I sing and walk. Thank you. It was like, I love the show when you sing and walk. I was like, okay. I can clearly see now that I can't go back and forth and get into my story. But she TS was saying that she's not going that route. She is not going to be screaming, fighting, turning over tables and stuff like that to be able to get on television. She ain't gonna do a Teresa thing where she flipped the table or all that fighting and carrying on television that we are noted for, and that's what they renew us for. And she says she's not doing it, and I'm glad she's not doing it because I don't do it. I come on here, and like the gentleman said, I come in here or walk and sing in the morning. That's not a draw. I know it. I'll get a couple of people. I'm good enough. That's good enough for me. But I'm not coming on there screaming and cussing and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. See, this is another thing in our culture. They used to call it entertaining white people. That's what my mother, my grandmother, and them used to call it. When you see all that screaming and fighting, and especially when they call it the beef sector in YouTube, or you go on Big O and they go, and especially in the LGBT communities and stuff, they get together and they get in them boxes and they go after each other hard. I'm not doing that. I didn't do it. I didn't do the dirty dozens. I didn't do all that stuff. I'm not attacking one another. I'm not talking bad about each other. I'm not doing that. I love, peace, and hair grease. Okay? Love, peace, and hair grease. And Maddie says she's not going to do all that if that's what it takes to get her on television. She doesn't have to do it. She is spectacular and awesome in herself. What more does she need? Her life is a wonderful cautionary tale and a bringing about of change for people who choose how they want to live and not let cults, because that's what I'm realizing, that they're all called cults. Let me just sidetrack a little bit. I used to ask my grandmother and the Sunday school teacher, I used to say, wow, if we all about the same thing, everybody's for Jesus, everybody's Christian, why there's a church for the white people, a church for the this people, and no one can sit together? And why does Catholics not like Baptists? Why does Baptists not? What if we all for the same thing? And the way we used to get answered back then was, shut up, stop asking stupid questions. Stop asking stupid questions, because they didn't know. What they should have said was, they're all different cults. Though they're looking at the same religion or the doctrine, they're all under the Christian doctrine. They're little cults. And that's why it's different. Sometimes you get like 2, 3, 4 cults that get together in a big cult, and then they have a big bishop and all that kind of stuff, but it's still a cult. Okay? So the cult speaks against choosing your life and your lifestyle, or what you have to do to stay on TV. Madison has to uh, jump up and fight and pull off somebody and start windmilling. She's a lady. She's a lady. I don't do it. I'm a lady. I'm not doing that to you. I'm too smart. I trip you first. You would know it. You just be walking by and you fall down. Too much of a lady. I'll accidentally drop my drink on you, ruin your dress. But other than that was a total accident. I'm a lady. Fighting you. And not Miss T.S. Madison, and she doesn't have to. Her life is a story of wonder, and especially when she bring in all the people, all the girls. When she brings in the girls, the TSs, TS women. I can say honestly, I don't know about trans TS men. I don't. I imagine that they're probably like men. And I'm good on that side. So I probably would have no interaction with a TS woman. She would not be a woman to me. I can't connect with her. I probably met him and scoffed and looked at him like, ugh, stupid little jerk. It was probably a TS. It was probably a TS fan. I'm telling you. I have no connection, and from what I see, they go hard. They're men, so I would have no connection with them whatsoever. None. But TS women, I love. I want to date. I want to have a relationship with. I want to go to the movies. I want to get my makeup done. I want to go shopping. I want her, and probably T.S. Martin did it to me. That's probably where I got from people dressing me. Is from Martin, who used to dress me. Critique, go through my closet, tell me what goes good together, and then I've been relying on other people since then. My girlfriend, Annie Pearl, she was a dresser, and she dressed me for years, and I look wonderful. And after that, I've been dressing myself, jeans, sweatsuits, sweatpants. I'm a turtlenecker. I'm always going to be a turtlenecker. But if I get in a relationship with a transgender woman, I know that's all going to change. I know it is. Because Martin changed me for the better. Made me a better woman. A more sexual, sensuous woman. Because that's how he felt. He was a woman. T.S. Martin. All woman on the inside. All woman on the inside. And he just never lived long enough to be it. Remember, we were still stuffing his bra with toilet paper the last time we were together. So every time I see T.S. Madison and her big breastises, I smile and say, Martin probably would have gotten breasts the same size, because sometimes we used a little bit of toilet paper, and sometimes we used a lot of toilet paper. Remember, this was the early 90s. Dog Day Afternoon. I mean, early 90s, early 80s, Dog Day Afternoon. So all he could do. And at the times, like I tell you, when he dressed up, when he'd be walking down Tompkins Street, heading to Hancock, he would say something. He would always come back at you. That's why I'm glad that T.S. reined it in, because if you said something in the morning, he would always come back to you. And then the next thing you know, I'd be sitting on the stoop with Day, and I would see Martin come flying around that corner, and them folks on his heels. And later on, when he would venture back out, I was like, man, what is that all about? They said something to me, and I said something back to them. And I know what he said, like, suck my dick. That's what he always said. And they said, okay. And they when they came run after him. After a while, when I would see him and I was outside, I would come around. I'd say, come here, come over here, come over here. And he would run straight into my house and we would close the gate. They just didn't like him because he was living his truth, like T.S. lives her truth, and all the other trans T.S.'s men and women, they live their truth, and they should be allowed to do that without being picked on or anything else like that. So yes, we want T.S. Madison back on We for another season. We want Miss Mary to talk to the folks so they can embrace their children who are TSs and stop this cult behavior. So I hope TS comes back on. And she brings all her friends, and she introduced the lovelies. And I think it'll be great. And I promise you the next week, I'm going to get a notepad. I'm going to get a notepad. You see what I sit down and look at T.S. Madison, and these are the notes I put. Now, here's some of my notes that I put. I told you guys about the Smalls Paradise review last week with the drag queens. And how much fun. Remember the troupe that came up from Washington, and I went down to Washington to see them, and it was so great. I thought about this morning. I was like, you used to sit at the bar and you talk to Cher, you talk to Donna Summers. Who else did I talk to? Cher, Donna Summers, not Whitney Houston, but all the stars, because the drag queens, they would come in costume, or after they performed, they would come and sit at the bar in costume. And it was really great. It was such a good time. But instead of those little pads, I'm gonna piece of paper. I'm gonna have my notes. And Tia says she may come on tomorrow, and if she does, I'll be talking to you about it on Sunday, and we'll get back to talking about trans, because as just women, I keep hearing in the LGBTQ women, LGBTQ elemental P community, they always say how we feel about them, but I don't hear us women saying how we feel about the LGBTQ. Not that they listen, but I'm saying it. I love me some TS. T.S. Madison, T.S. My Martin from the 1980s. R.I.P. Because I'm not going to start crying. I just didn't know how much it was inside me and how much a release it would be for me to share me and Martin's relationship. So I guess it was really pinned up inside me. And I'm just glad that I can talk about it. And like I said, Tia says she'd be hopefully be back on tomorrow. And I know sometimes if she's not on YouTube on Fridays, then she'll come on Saturdays. Not so much Sundays that I'm aware of. But if she comes on tomorrow, I'll look at it and take better notes. I'm gonna get a notepad. So that's it. That's my love affair. I'm out of the closet. I'm talking about gays. My relationship with transgender women. My love. They love women, and I love them. And I wish that women would support them more and stop going with those cult leaders and that cult book and just allow people to be who and what they want to be. Judge free zone. What is that? Planet Fitness says judge free zone. They don't judge nobody, child. That's what they say. They don't judge nobody. Well, thank you. I'm feeling better and better the more I share my relationship with Martin. And I'm just doing the top of the iceberg with Martin. Just a tip. We were sisters. And we loved each other. Yes. And I love T.S. Madison. And T.S. Madison loved women. So would y'all stop, please? Yeah, y'all know that's my theme song, right? Well, that's it for me. I'll see y'all Sunday. It's easier for me to do Sunday mornings, you know? And like I said, if TS comes on Friday or tomorrow, like Saturday or Friday, I'll talk about it and let you know we need to support her. Thanks for tuning in. Hey. Yeah. I love transgender folks. Well, I gotta say women. Transgender men. I'm not, Anyway, that's it for me. See you next time.